Ever since I first sat in the theater and saw the trailer to Baby Driver, I've heard it from some fellow patrons that it's essentially a ripoff of Drive. Later, after viewing internet forums over the movie, I found similar accusations. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Drive is a 2011 movie starring Ryan Gosling as a getaway driver. 2017's Baby Driver, on the other hand, stars Ansel Elgort as a getaway driver. Now, do the similarities end there? Certainly not. Both feature a mentor character with ties to criminal syndicates. In Drive's case, this is Shannon, a shady car mechanic portrayed by Bryan Cranston. In Baby Drivers, the role goes to Doc, a criminal mastermind specializing in heists portrayed by Kevin Spacey. Both films hold a plot device of heists gone wrong with horrible consequences, and the getaway driver of each having to rely on their own wits and cunning to get themselves and their loved ones out of said consequences. Both feature a love interest that, while innocent, find themselves engulfed in the lead's criminal lifestyle. In Drive's case, this is Irene, portrayed by Carey Mulligan. In Baby Driver, this is Deborah, portrayed by Lily James. The main character in both are very stoic, strong, and silent types, seemingly lost in their own little worlds, yet also highly observant of their surroundings, and very caring about what's going on around them. The similarities do not end there. That being said, is Baby Driver a complete and total ripoff of Drive? While I would like to keep interpretations to those who watch both movies, for me, personally, I would have to say no. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that Drive may have held an influence on Baby Driver, much the same way as Flash Gordon influenced Star Wars, or the works of H. Rider Haggard influenced the Indiana Jones franchise, or the 1926 silent horror film The Bat influenced the creation of Batman from DC Comics. I won't say, however, that Baby Driver is itself a ripoff of Drive. For one thing, the most important thing to point out is that Drive isn't exactly the first crime drama that focusing on heists gone wrong, nor is it the first to portray strong and silent leads. For heists gone wrong, the first that comes to my mind is Quentin Tarantino's first, Reservoir Dogs. Not that that's the first, mind you, just the first that comes to mind. For strong and silent leads, the first that comes to mind is the 1967 French film Le Samurai, starring Alain Delon, which in itself has inspired several other movies. Also, I would like to point out the differences in the lead characters. In the case of Drive, the lead is a mysterious man with no name whose criminal activities are done by choice, and he probably does it for the heck of it, with no actual intentions of leaving that life behind. In Baby Driver, the lead is forced into driving getaway cars for a past mistake, and is trying in vain to leave his life of crime, but keeps finding himself brought back in. In terms of Star Wars, the driver from Drive is like Boba Fett, cold, collected, and calculating, and in control of the circumstances he finds himself in. Whereas Baby is more like Han Solo. While still cold, collected, and calculating, he's more of a victim of circumstance. He's also kind of dressed up as Han Solo, come to think of it. Yet we do not accuse Baby Driver of being a ripoff of Star Wars. As well, recall my previous entry of the Death Wish remake, coming out next month? In that video, I discussed the topic of spiritual successors, movies that are inspired by previous movies and feature many of the same themes, elements, and styles, but are not follow-ups to the previously made movies. Death Wish is what we categorize as a vigilante movie, a movie where the lead protagonist takes it upon him or herself to put the law into their own hands. In that video, I had pointed out several vigilante movies that had followed Death Wish, which Death Wish clearly had a hand in, inspirationally speaking. As well, perhaps it would be wise to look at Baby Driver in the same light. Not as a rip-off, but rather as a spiritual successor to the previous Drive. But you know, with both protagonists being as they are, and the styles being as similar as they are, here is something I would like to see: a crossover. I know a great deal of people who would actually love to see a sequel to Drive, and Baby Driver did as well as it did. And with crossovers and cinematic universes being the big trend to hit Hollywood nowadays, why not? I mean, think about it. Wouldn't it be great to see the driver and Baby team up or square off against each other? They're both different in certain respects, yet also similar in others. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this entry, click like and subscribe to view more in the near future. I'm Mike, and this has been a Penguins Rock production.